One MLB insider drops a massive report that will affect the entire MLB offseason. The San Francisco Giants are officially fits for three of the best young starting pitchers in all of baseball, including a two-time or soon-to-be two-time Cy Young Award winner. We're going to break down all of that here on SF Giants Digest, so make sure to go down below, hit that subscribe button, as we will have every massive report, acquisition, trade, rumor. We'll have all of that here on the channel, so make sure to go down below, hit that subscribe button. Now, before we get into this specific conversation, I have to shout out the Blue Jays, man. We love seeing them beat up on the Dodgers. They win by a landslide. Shohei Ohtani hits a late inning home run that does absolutely nothing. Addison Barger with a huge grand slam to really put the Blue Jays ahead. And what a fun game to watch for Giants fans, just to see the Dodgers get beat up in the World Series. Hopefully we see them choke it again, but we'll have to see. Hopefully the Blue Jays clean up 3 more wins. But getting into this video, we are talking about a report from Jim Bowden, who reported 3 big-time starting pitchers will be fits for the San Francisco Giants this offseason. The first being Tarik Skubal, who we did break this specific scenario down on a previous video. So once we're done with this one, make sure to go check out that one. But he says the Tigers commenced negotiations on an extension with Skubal. As we all probably heard, there was a huge gap of reportedly $250 million. So the Tigers reportedly offered around $100 million to him in an extension, which is extremely laughable. The Tigers are really just not giving themselves a good look when you have the best starting pitcher in baseball, whether it's him or Paul Skeens, kind of 1A, 1B. You have one of, if not the best starting pitchers in baseball, and you offer him a $100 million extension where if he reaches free, or when he reaches free agency next year, he will likely get, north of $300 million for sure, probably getting close to $400 million. We'll have to wait and see in terms of there, but he's going to set the free agent market in terms of pitchers. This goes on to say when Juan Soto got his 765 and Shohei got 700, they reset the market for top free agents. The expectation now is that Skubal will reset the market for pitchers and become the highest paid starting pitcher in Major League Baseball history. And then at the very end, you see there, therefore, even though the Tigers are in a position to compete for the postseason next year, it's likely they shop Skubal at the winter meetings and try to make the best trade they can with so many big market teams with deep farm systems obviously wanting him. This includes the Mets, Dodgers, Red Sox, Yankees, and finally, the San Francisco Giants. And this is a huge deal. I know a lot of fans are not going to like hearing this, but if you can go out and acquire a pitcher of the caliber of Tarik Skubal, a guy like Bryce Eldridge is absolutely on the table, and I think Buster Posey understands that. I would hope so. Yes, Bryce Eldridge looks like he's going to be a star, and he looks like the future of this franchise, but prospects are always risky. Obviously, Joey Bart looked like that. And he's not as big of a prospect as Bryce Eldridge, but there has been a few big prospects in the system, and this happens with every team, that look like they're going to be stars, and it just doesn't pan out. Obviously, you hope that doesn't happen with Bryce Eldridge, but if you can go out and get, obviously I said, a soon-to-be 2-time Cy Young Award winner, you go and do that, and you give up whatever it takes. Him with Logan Webb behind, Robbie Ray behind him next year, and then you add Landon Roop and go out and get a 5-starter or something. That is a very good rotation. That is one that should get you into the postseason as long as the offense performs. And this is a move that the San Francisco Giants should go out and make. Now, Buster Posey's been very outspoken that pitching is going to be the forefront of this offseason. It's going to be the focus. And all 3 of the guys we talk about in this video are just proof of that. If the Giants are going to go out and do this, there's a bit of talent in the starting pitching market in the free agency, but these guys would by far be the best starting pitcher on the market if they were free agents. So if they're on the trade front, this is something that the Giants should absolutely explore. Now, what exactly has Tarik Skubal done? This is in his last 2 seasons. In 62 games started, a 2.30 ERA in 387 innings. Just absolutely dominant across the last 2 seasons. Like I said, won the Cy Young last year, and in a few weeks will be named the Cy Young Award winner in back-to-back seasons in the American League. 10.9 strikeouts per 9. Just absolutely dominant on the mound for Tarik Skubal. And 31-10 record-wise. You see Paul Skeens' record was not very good this year, and he was on a bad team. But this shows that Tarik Skubal is giving his team a chance to win every time he is on the mound. A 2.47 FIP. Just a very good pitcher. One of the best we've seen since the beginning of the 2000s. Absolutely dominant across the last 2 seasons. And you'd hope that if the Giants acquire him, they can sign him to an extension. The Giants obviously have deep pockets that they have started to use in the last few years, but they're still nowhere near being empty. So they should go out, get Tarik Skubal, and then sign him to a long-term, big money extension. Now, who is the next one? The next one is Freddy Peralta, who is likely going to finish top 3 in the National League Cy Young this year. And his case is a little different than the other two, as he's 1 year left on his contract. This is from Jim Bowden as well. Peralta's coming off the best year of his career as he's really figured out how to use and mix his dominant stuff. Fastball Freddy held opposing batters to a 209 average against his four-seamer, 173 against his changeup, 183 against his curveball, and 157 against his slider. He's a true ace at the top of the rotation at just 29. There'll be plenty of interest in him on the trade market, with the Red Sox, Orioles, Mets, Angels, Astros, the Giants, Padres, and Tigers all likely to inquire on him. Now this one, because he has 1 year left on the deal and you're not as worried of extending him as Skubal, he will likely have a ton of suitors in the trade market. All those team names there and at the end are definitely going to be interested. And the Giants will have, a bidding war in terms of prospects, packages, stuff like that in the market in this scenario. But if Peralta is a guy who you can go out and get, and like Skubal, sign to an extension before he reaches free agency, that is another top of the rotation ace, as Bowden says, that you put next to Logan Webb, put right on top of Robbie Ray. That forms another very good rotation that can compete in the postseason. If you have a 3-game series and you go Freddy Peralta, Logan Webb, Robbie Ray, you have a pretty good shot at winning that series, especially if Robbie Ray is on. You have a very good chance at winning 3 games in that series. So I think this is a move that the Giants should absolutely explore, especially when you consider how good Freddy Peralta has been. Now, this is specifically to 2025, as like I said, he's going to finish top 3 in the National League Cy Young. But here, you see, he started 33 games, so he was available all season long. He threw 176 innings. Doesn't rack up innings like Logan Webb, but no one does, if we're being honest. A 2.70 ERA in those near 180 innings. A 28.2 strikeout percentage. A 3.64 FIP, and a 3.6 F4. Just a dominant season. He was the ace of the Milwaukee Brewers. He was one of the reasons they made it into the postseason, one of the reasons they were the best regular season team in baseball. And while they did get knocked out early, he was a big piece of their postseason team. He has experience in the playoffs. That's big for the Giants team, who haven't been in the playoffs since 2021, and before that since 2016. So a guy with the playoff experience, a guy who can man the top of the rotation next to Logan Webb, is a guy that Buster Posey should absolutely go out and trade for. Now, this scenario, I don't think Bryce Eldridge should be available, but anyone else I think should be on the table if you're going and getting out an ace that you hope to extend for a multi-year deal with the organization. Now, the last one, we were talking about Hunter Greene, who is a very exciting arm, still early in his career. This is also from Jim Bowden, the same report. It says, there have been several reports out of Cincinnati that the Reds are planning to shop Greene this winter. I've not been able to confirm these reports, nor do I understand why they would want to consider it, since they have him under team control through the 2029 season. That is a huge deal, because if you trade for Hunter Greene, you have him for several years, a lot of team control, and that's a guy who you place at the top of your rotation for the next, little bit of years. One reason a trade might be considered is because of Greene's durability issues. Through his first 4 years in the big leagues, he's never made 27 starts or pitched 160 innings. It's possible that there's a medical risk that we do not know about. One thing I do know, if they want to trade him, the Reds could get a huge return with the amount of team control remaining. Dodgers, Mets, Red Sox, Yankees, Orioles, and the San Francisco Giants are likely to be interested. Jim Bowden says he thinks it'd be a huge mistake for the Reds to trade Hunter Greene, but we can't ignore the rumors because they are so loud and no one is denying them. Now, this is another one where the Giants will absolutely be interested in if he is actually made available. If the Reds go into the winter meetings in December and say, hey, Hunter Greene's available, give us your best package, the Giants should absolutely put together the best package they can and try and go out and get this young starting pitcher with absolutely electric stuff. I put out a tweet saying that the Giants have not had a starter with the stuff of Hunter Greene, and the only pushback I got was a guy like Tim Lincecum, who, as we know, was absolutely dominant. From 2008 to 2010, 2011, 2012, a couple no-hitters. One of the best little spurts of domination we've seen in Major League Baseball. And Hunter Greene has the ability to do that. His stuff is absolutely electric. Throws 100 with a nasty slider, a hard slider. And I said, if he's a guy who's throwing a full season in Oracle Park, he could win a Cy Young because of how pitcher-friendly that park is. Now, finishing out what has Hunter Greene done in his career. You see the innings pitch totals not very good. Like the report says, he has not been durable throughout his career. His best season was 2024, where he threw 150 innings at a 2.75 ERA. So obviously really, really good at limiting runs, limiting earned runs, a FIP of 3.47 in that year and 3.7 F4. This season, a really similar ERA, a 2.76 ERA, but only 107 innings pitched, 2.9 F4. So the durability is 100% a question. You don't want to trade for a guy, you give up a huge haul in terms of prospect packages, and him only throw 100 innings a year. That is not what you want, and that package would not be worth it in most cases if the guy is only throwing 100 innings per year. However, you hope that if you're going out to get this guy, he becomes more available, he throws more innings, and Logan Webb can teach him a thing or two. We saw what happened to Blake Snell. He learned how to pitch deep into games being with Logan Webb for just a year. So if Hunter Greene comes in and learns from Logan Webb for a couple of seasons, he could become, the most dominant pitcher in all of Major League Baseball. He has the stuff to do so. It's just if he can stay on the mound for the majority of a full 162 game season. Now, let me know in the comments if you think that any of these trades will happen. I think that there's a very good shot the Giants are going to be extremely interested in trading for a starting pitcher. Buster Posey, like I said, was very outspoken at the end of the year presser that pitching is going to be the main focus of the offseason this year for the San Francisco Giants, and he's willing to spend the big bucks for them. Let me know what you think is going to happen this offseason. Will the Giants acquire Tarik Skubal, Hunter Greene, Freddy Peralta, or do they go strictly the free agent route and try and sign some guys? Let me know what you think down in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to SF Giants Digest for all future breaking news.